Hey folks, Mark here. Today I want to talk about Backlash, and specifically Backlash concerning your new Crayford focuser that you've put on your Smith Cassegrain telescope. We're going to flip around here and talk about Backlash and how to compensate for it in your EAF. Specifically, I've got this one from ZWO, and I'm going to show you how I compensate for backlash in that particular unit. So let me scratch my lip here and we'll get going on this. We're going to flip this around and see how we can make this work. As you can see here, I've got my ZWO EAF attached to my telescope. It's a 8-inch SCT from Meade, and I've installed a Crayford focuser from GSO on it, and right now I'm going to try and compensate for the backlash. What I've done to make the alignment a little bit easier is, you can see here on the 1-to-1 knob I've placed a black piece of tape, and then on the 10-to-1 knob I've placed a blue piece of tape with the pointer pointing at the center of the black tape. This way I have a demarcation line so that when I make adjustments I can check for the alignment, and we will get into that here in just a minute, but I wanted to at least go over the setup with you. The EAF is hooked up to my ASI Air, and I'll be using the ASI Air program to do the alignment on the backlash. So without further ado, let's set this up and give it a shot. So what we have here originally or initially is our ZWO ASI Air program, which is loaded onto the iPad here, and I've got a pad of paper and a pen, and I'm going to look at the ZWO focuser here, and it says the current position is 4830, and we're going to move it to a certain location, forward and reverse. So my initial location for the focuser is at 4830, and I'm going to move it positive to 4980, which is 150 steps, and then I'm going to move it minus 150 steps to 4680. So essentially what we do here is, you can see here we have the go-to area and it's blank and waiting for a thing, and I'm at 4830. So let's go ahead and we're going to shift it up to 4980, and we're going to watch the telescope shift, and then we're going to return it back to the 4830 value and see whether or not the units line up like they did originally. So let's go here and we're going to key in 4980, and we're going to hit move. Okay, while you do that, I'll do this, and it's moving, and there it goes. We've shifted our unit 150 counts, and let's move it back now to the 4830. Backspace here, 830, hit the enter and move, and you can see we've moved back perfectly in line with the tape. So let's go and make it minus. We'll go to 4680, and we've moved our 150 steps, and now we'll move it back. and we look at it, and it's just about online, but not quite. So this means we have a slight little bit of backlash, and I'm going to say it's not quite enough to worry about. But if we were going to worry about it, we have here our backlash. In fact, this is probably why it came back, because I originally had a backlash number set to 40. So if we remove that backlash number and try this again, let's see what happens. We now have a backlash of 0. We're at our nominal location, and let's see if we can do this and move back, and we'll go to 49.80 again and move. And you can see here we've done our 150 steps. Let's go back to our nominal value here. Excuse the camera focusing every time I turn around. And there you go. You see how it's way offset? So this particular Crayford focuser has a backlash of positive 40, which we saw down here. So if we set it to 40 again, and we move our unit, we're going to have to recalculate our center point here because our tape is moved, or we can simply take our tape off here and set it up so that once again it's pointing towards the center, and we move our number off 150 counts. And we've moved off, and let's go back to it with the new input setting of 40 on our backlash. And we hit move, and voila, we've calculated the backlash at 40, we've compensated for it, and now we're good to go. That's about as simple as it is on the EAF from ZWO when you have it hooked up to a focuser on your SCT. And bear in mind that your main focus here, if you put the focuser, automatic focuser on that, you'd have the same issue. The reason I bought an SCT with the Crayford focuser is this way I can adjust the main focus of the mirror and leave it alone, and that way we won't get mirror flop when we're focusing back and forth. What we do is we adjust for the focus and the backlash on the Crayford, which is a lot easier. It's geared and everything like that, and this one here is simply a spindle on a knob, so it's a lot easier to compensate for the error in an SCT with the Crayford focuser than it is with the mirror focuser. Hopefully that's not too confusing for you guys, and good luck with setting up your EAF on your new machine.